So gives all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Kadash, the honors to the apostles and the elders of the GMS, salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are there in truth, in sincerity, and the women and the children who follow. So I have an article from today. It's from March 8th from the Insider. It says Americans' inflation expectations hit 7-year high as the economic recovery picked up. It says the Fed's survey finds. So we're going to go into this word inflation real quick. So in economics, is a general increase of prices and the fall of the purchasing value of money. And that's what America's going through right now, man. Prices are going through the roof. Gas is, getting back up there. I know here in Nebraska, the price of gas was, around 220, 230 or so. You might look up and find somebody in the two teens. But over this, really since Biden got in office, you've seen it creep up to the 240s and 250s. Now, 270, 275 is good right now. So we're seeing these prices inflated. The food prices going up. The housing market is crazy. You're seeing all these signs of inflation. Okay, like let's go over it one more time. A general increase in prices. We're seeing these prices going up, and the fall of the purchasing power of money. So the money's not as valuable as it was before, and we've been seeing these signs for years. You can always go back to something as simple as a oatmeal cream pie or a honey bun. When I was a kid, the cream pie was 25 cents, and the honey bun was 35 cents. A bag of chips used to be 25 cents, and they're not giving you more cream pie. They're not giving you more honey bun. But now that same honey bun is like $1.25. Then that oatmeal cream pie is 65, 75 cents. Why? Because the purchasing power of the money has gone down, has dwindled. Okay, so let's get into this article. Salakia. Okay, it says Americans are bracing for the strongest inflation in decades as new stimulus promises to accelerate the U.S. economic rebound. And really, what the stimulus is doing, what they're saying is they're giving people money to help the economy. So give people money, people spend the money, the economy booms. But what it's really doing is devaluing the currency because it's putting more and more money out there. What is $1.9 trillion extra? Almost $2 trillion of debt going out there. And because I brought that up, let's see if we can get this. This is the real time as of 11:22 p.m. Central Time, March 8th. Yep, March 8th. This is the national debt. We had 28 trillion. That's $84,879 per person. And really, $223,893 per taxpayer. Everybody, all working individuals. If I'd have to work, 5, 6, 7 years to get that. Let me see, probably about maybe, yeah, to get that. That's about 6, 7 years worth of salary for the average man. For any man, for the average man makes about 40,000 a year. Depending on where you at. Some make less, some make more, but 200K is not a small number at all. So let's get back to the article. It says consumers' median year ahead of inflation expectations rose to 3.1% in February from 3%, according to the Federal Reserve Bank of New York survey of consumer expectations, the highest reading since July 2014. The higher expectations come from COVID-19 or the COVID-19 cases. Case counts dive and business activity sharpens improve. So basically, they're saying um, the the COVID-19 cases are going down and business activities are going up. So they're expecting a an uptick in production and inflation to go down. See, the expectations for the inflation 3 years from now held steady at 3%. So they're projecting the inflation to be about 3% more than what it is right now, which is about average. Because the further you go along, it has to rise. Just like minimum wage has to go up, and economy is gonna go up. In order for anybody to make money, you gotta raise your prices, which is okay if you have a steady currency. But when you have a currency that's devaluing itself, then that's where inflation and hyperinflation comes in, and it can be a detriment. It says each reading will represent the highest inflation since 2011, according to the data from the World Bank. Price growth hasn't steadily trended above the Fed's 2% target since the early 90s. Well, I'm corrected. Three, fuck it. I said 3% wasn't bad. It's like the 2% is their target, so that's a whole third above where they really want it to be. And 1% may not seem like a lot to you, but when you're dealing with big numbers, 1% is a lot. Because, like I said, that's going from 2% to 3% is a half. It's a third. So if you're dealing with say 2% was 2 trillion, now you're going to 3%. That's bringing on a whole nother trillion. Like when you're dealing with these bigger numbers, 1% is actually a big number. That's why they said back there that the expectation rose to 3.1%, and it seems like it's minuscule, but that's still a substantial amount of growth when you're dealing with these big numbers. This is really all I wanted to give with the article. It's just wanted to put that vibration that that the inflation is on the rise. This is dated from 3 days ago, and America's not on this level yet, but you can definitely see, where we could end up in the conditions of Venezuela, man. It says hyperinflation pushes Venezuela to print a million bolivar bill. So they have, like we have a $10 bill or a $20 bill, $100 bill. They have a $1 million bill, and it probably only buys a loaf of bread or something like that. Let's see. Venezuela said it will introduce new large denomination bolivar as hyperinflation renders most bills worthless, forcing citizens to turn to the U.S. dollar for everyday transactions. They said they got a new $200,000 bill, $500,000 bill, $1 million bill. So you think you got $1 million and you doing something. But that $1 million, they said the $1 million note, the largest in the nation's history, is worth only 53 cents. That's hyperinflation. When $1 million translates to 53 cents. So what's the point? So So now you can see what's the point of having a $5 bill, a $10 bill. You're not going to do nothing with it. Look, they got $200 million bill. 200. That's 200,000. Okay, that's the 500,000, and that's the 1 million. That's crazy. So these are the times that we're living in, man. I got a couple scriptures, and we're gonna call it a night. This is of course, we're gonna start off with Habakkuk 2 and verse 6. It says, "Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, saying, Woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. How long to him that ladeth himself with thick clay?" And this is talking about the so-called white man, okay? Because who is increasing with that which is not his? Who's in everyone's land taking advantage of their resources which are not his? Okay, it's a rhetorical question, but it's a simple question. We know it's the so-called white man. And it says, how long? And to him that ladeth himself with the clay. And what have we been talking about? We've been talking about talking about the economy, talking about money, okay? Mainly talking about the inflation, okay? So let's go over here, back to this word for debt, all right, which is abatya, which means weight, pledges, heavy debts, all right? That's what, where was I? Thick clay. That's what that thick clay represents, debt, okay? And this country is, balls deep in debt, for lack of a better term. You see that? That's Ibatya right there. Debt. And it's always running. It's never going to stop. We breathe, you know what I'm saying? And we're extra, couple $1,000s in debt as an individual because, our Social Security numbers are tied within the system. We're owned by the system. We're slaves to the system. So that's why when it says per citizen and per taxpayer, because we owe that money. Now, are they going to pull our card and say, hey, you owe $84,000 or whatnot? No, they're not going to do that. But that's why they have this whole beast system. So when they do the reset, you're a part of that system. Okay, so got one more precept that I wanted to get real quick. This is Ecclesiastes 12:3. It says, "In the days when the keeper of the house shall tremble, the strong men shall bow themselves, the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out the window shall be darkened." Okay, the keeper of the houses is going to tremble. That's the so-called white man, and in that, because you can see this economy crashing, you can see this economy eroding away. Like I said, all the prices are higher and the value of the money is lower. Never has there been this much distance between the haves and the have-nots. The 99% and the 1%. All right. And then with this pandemic, you have people out of work. You have people who can't provide for their families like they've been providing. And that goes into the grinder ceasing because there are a few. Then you got technology replacing a lot of people's jobs as well. And that's just going to get more and more prevalent as we move forward in the future. All right. And that pretty vision of America that you can come over here and that you can make something out of yourself, you know, that's that's the windows being darkened. You thought that this was the land of opportunity. Man, this is the land where, you know, it's gonna be a great judgment done in this place. And you're gonna know that it was the judgment of Yahweh Shem Shai for all the BS that's going on. Alright. So with that being said, we give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Bashem Yahshai, Bashem Makarkadash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS. Salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are dying in truth and sincerity, and the women and the children who follow. Shalom.